Get into our next conversation. Still in the studios with us, we have lawyer Joyce Bar Muktari. She's a special aide to former President John Dramani Mahama, also former Deputy Minister of Transport, and Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa is the General Secretary for the CPP. We still do not have a rep from the NPP. We've been waiting, hoping that she would show up. Unfortunately, we haven't heard of anything. But let's move on to our next conversation. We'll start off with inflation for August 2022. It has hit 33.9% according to data released by government statistician Professor Samuel Enima at the press conference in Accra yesterday. So food inflation for August was 34.4% as against 32.3% in July 2022, while non-food inflation was 33.6% in August 2022 as against 31.3% in July of the same year. In fact, this August inflation, we're told, is the highest in 21 years. And that actually means a lot. Now, looking at the situation, we have GPRTU saying that they intend to increase transport fares effective September 2021. And they announced this via a communique from the Ghana Private Road Transport Union yesterday. So according to the union, the decision follows a successful consultation with its mother body. And they're saying that they're looking at some 30% increment on fares by Tuesday, 21st September. But of course, they are waiting for the Transport Ministry to officially inform them so they can go ahead with it. That's not all. Sachet water is going up by 50 pesos, and the bag of sachet water will go for 9 cedis, bottled water from 3 cedis, starting from September 19. Nanaya, things are not getting any easier for the regular Ghanaian.
You see, let me go back a bit on this thing. This galamsey, this sex tapes that they are talking about. I can't see how we can mortgage the fortunes of our nation because of a sex tape. Whatever sex tape is, it doesn't matter.
The allegation that Aisha One may have some sex tapes.
So because of that, they don't want to do anything to her. I mean, the point is that, and so what? When the sex become a crime?
But she allegedly uses that to blackmail the
people.
But
why should you let you be blackmailed? Because they will not be the only person who have sex or who have had sex.
Is from another generation.
Yes. So if you are blackmailed with a sex tape,
why should you?
You won't stop them.
Why?
And give in to their demands.
Why should I give in?
Okay.
Because when you were doing it, you knew what you were doing, and you haven't stolen anything. And because of a sex tape, our fortunes should be mortgaged. I mean, we can't do anything. Our hands are tied because of sex tape. Why? Then that is very personal. They are very selfish people. No, to be very honest, they are very selfish people. Because why should you not ask because you are on a sex tape? It does not matter. Sex tapes have come out so many times. What happened to the people? Are they not still at work? Are they not still around?
Maybe they are considering the public shame.
What public shame? Those who have gone through this process, are they dead?
Which process?
The process of a sex tape, are they dead? And because of that, our nations should suffer because of some people are on sex tape.
No, I'm not serious.
Anyway.
She obviously doesn't take videos.
She does it there.
No, but the point is that you have allowed yourself to be taped doing this.
Maybe they are seen as people of integrity.
But
so for your veil to be taken off completely. Anyway.
Incorporation that is purely private to you.
No, but what are you talking about? When you
I'm sure some of these tapes you don't want to see them.
Sweetheart, please, when you become a public figure, you stop being private.
Oh, we are humans.
No, so but you should be careful.
We are human.
No, I'm saying that you should be careful with the things that you do.
Well, you should be careful, but you never know what will happen.
You never know.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's for excitement.
Like what? Like
Nanaya, we all need excitement. We all need excitement. Yes.
I'm saying that you can have your excitement, but you should be conscious of the fact
it's not just the sex tapes that they're alleging. They're saying that there are tapes of corruption.
That is a different matter. But if you say that because of sex tape, the country should suffer and you not punish a criminal, I don't see. I mean, sex tape, this is the first time a sex tape will come out.
Okay. Let's move on. Talk about inflation and transport fares. Points well made.
Well, I like the representation of the generations because there's you, there's me, and
exactly,
of course,
and then there's me as well.
There's our niece, so we
I'm not sure if, God forbid, but I'm not sure I'd allow that to come out.
But in fact, if you allow the tape to happen.
No, but you never know when someone is also filming you without your notice.
It's true, you don't know, and there's some unscrupulous persons. Oh, it happens.
Okay, then you should be careful how you remove.
No, it happens.
Okay.
But maybe, yes, you are spot on that maybe people shouldn't engage with people who are devious and
yes, you should know who this person is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you are in this
yes.
situation, you're a public
Yeah.
figure, you need
That's
to be
true,
careful.
yes.
You have to scan your environment
Yeah.
before you start doing those things.
Okay.
You can't just get up. Then it means we ourselves, we are in trouble. Once you're a public figure, you need to be very careful what you do. And before you enter that room or that corner, you have to scan your environment so that nobody blackmails you.
And if you enter a room somewhere in Gimpa or like on campus or you
How would you know?
How would you know?
Why should you go?
They are very good at concealing these
we enter
cameras
all sorts
now.
of places,
Yeah.
so sometimes we can't
I hear. So don't go and enter Legon. Go according to your age mate.
Even your own house,
maybe
they can come and
you go and rent an
they can
apartment,
come
but
and install
somebody has the
cameras
key,
there.
oh.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Then you have to stop
Sometimes
living.
you hide them behind mirrors and things. You can never tell.
You have to stop living now. It will be good for
Anyway.
you to stop living.
like how I'm learning to live in denial. That's the only way.
Yes, that's the only way you stop living. No.
Then let's talk about transport fares.
Oh my God.
Or stop going to the mood bar, for example.
You know? No, transport fares are going up.
But this one, Bella, what can I do about it? It is going up.
I'm trying to be a good citizen. It's not always easy.
You have to be careful.
I try very hard. It's not always
There's a
easy.
statement by some concerned, transport users, and they're saying that things are already difficult for us, and now we have to grapple with an increment in transport fares when our salaries are still the same.
Everything is the same. Our income has dwindled. Our capital has dwindled. The money that you are using to work, if you had 50,000 Ghana cedis some time ago, it is no longer 50,000 Ghana cedis. Something hit me very hard at the Laboni Junction when I saw a signboard advertising flats in Laboni. I mean, certainly everybody wants to live around that place because it's in town. So you will look. When I looked, I saw 1.15 million Ghana cedis starting price. Then it means that they have still maintained their $100,000.
Yeah.
But our cedi has depreciated so badly that now they are selling it for 1.15 million. Before January 2022, if you mentioned 1.15 million, that was a huge amount. In 2016, the dollar was 4 cedis. So if you mention 1.51 million, you are talking over $200,000. Yeah. In less than 10 years, our cedi has dwindled. The strength of our cedi has dwindled. The handcuffs could not keep the cedi. The cedi has run away from the IGP. And now the cedi is gone. We can't even find it. It is so serious that these drivers that we are talking about, they have to buy spare parts. They have to maintain their cars. Everything has increased. I believe that as a grouping, the government should find a way of helping them out. Find a way of helping them out in giving them some incentives that will help them maintain their vehicles. Because you see, the vehicles that they use, it is also about life. If you don't have a good tie, you can easily get an accident. If your brakes are bad, you can easily get an accident. And you are carrying people, and they need to change. They need to, even the roadworthy has increased. Insurance has increased. Everything has increased. Look, Bella, I bought a broom, a sweeping brush. I do my own cleaning.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm fed up with everybody. They come, they go, they steal, they do a man of things. So I do my own cleaning. I bought a sweeping brush. It used to be 15 cedis. Now it is 40 cedis.
When was the last time you bought one?
Oh, when the last time I bought one? Not long ago.
So this year?
This year. It is now 40 cedis, a sweeping brush. Bella, can you imagine? It is uncomfortable for them to increase. It is not the best. But what can they do? When fuel has been increased so many times, that now it's almost 12 cedis a gallon. Diesel is 14 cedis a gallon. And you always sit in traffic, and nobody cares about it. People forget that sitting in traffic is spending money. Because as you sit in traffic, you waste fuel. And as you waste fuel, it is not for any productive use. Just wasting it because you are sitting in traffic. And our road infrastructure or architecture is so bad that there are no ways that you can even get away from this traffic. You can't get out of it. It is done in such a way that once you are stuck in it, you are stuck in it. So it is serious. Water. We all depend on bottled water, sachet water. Because Galamsey has destroyed all our water bodies. And now it is increased. It is increased also because Ghana Water has increased their prices. The tariffs have gone up. Yeah. And this processed water, most of them are from Ghana Water. Most of them are from Ghana Water. So, I mean, the increases are everywhere you go. Bella, it's not only water. Everything has increased. Even garden eggs. Kontome, which used to be 5 cedis, is now 7 cedis. Everywhere, yam. Everything has increased. Plantain, pedicure, manicure, everything. Everything has increased. And what is government doing about it? What is the government's plan? This is where the KPIs come in. If you have failed the KPIs, then we send you out, because this one, they have failed the KPIs to F9.
Can they not still be saying that COVID, Russia, Ukraine,
oh, please, this is money.
And the after effects of
even
that?
Now, even now, Ukraine is winning the war gradually. Even Ukraine, that is the cause. They are winning the war. They've overtaken some of their cities and their towns. So what are we doing? The Ukraine, who is the reason why we are in this, they are winning their war. What about us? COVID is always with us. Bella, are you telling me that COVID is gone?
It's not gone, but at least WHO says there's an end in sight. So
yeah, but I'm saying
we're almost there.
COVID is not gone. It is going to be with us for some time, no matter how minimal it is. So then it means that we will never do well. You see, the president, sometimes when I'm talking about him, but yes, there are some inconsistencies in what he says. Because he came and he told us that he cannot bring back human beings. Of course, he's not God. But he can bring back the economy. What has happened?
They're going back to IMF.
That is what I'm saying. So he is not bringing back the economy. IMF is going to help us. And that is one of the most disgraceful comments I heard from the IMF president.
That what?
That they are going to help Ghana. They are going to bring the economy back. I felt so sad.
But why is that disgraceful? She's speaking to the reality.
I am saying that we have sunk this low. We have allowed this to happen. And now somebody is telling us that they are going to bring our economy back. And you know what hurts me very much? 2012 up to 2016, what didn't the MPP say? Me, I'm not doing anybody's politics, but I'm talking about reality. What didn't they say? Everybody believed in them. They wrapped us. They became political playboys, telling us all the sweet things. Yet we won't pay too many taxes. You will not do this, you will not do that. Everybody believed in them. One district, one factory, fantastic program. Because that underlining program of one district, one factory is the concept for CPP. We started it. But what has happened? They find a small kiosk somewhere in the corner, they put on it one district, one factory.
You saw the kiosk yesterday?
Oh, yes, it's kiosk.
You saw the kiosk?
Why not?
And they put one D, one F on the kiosk.
It is nothing. Any small thing they find, they put one D, one F. Do you get me? Anything, old factories. If you say one D, one F, it means you are going to start from scratch. And engage the youth who need jobs to do. Every district should have a factory. What happened? Close to a resource. So that if you want to build a factory in Akumadan, you can do tomato puree. There are a lot of tomatoes there. Yes, some tomato puree are around, which is made in Ghana. But how many people even know that they are made in Ghana? My dear, times are really hard. And the government should sit up to do something. The government should sit up and really think about what they can do. Now, I think they've thrown their hands in the air. Yeah. Waiting for Messiah IMF to come and bail us out. When we spoke about IMF, they said we are a proud nation. So now if I say it's disgraceful, have I said anything different? They say Ghana is a proud nation. We are not going to IMF. What happened? You see, they like ad hoc measures, e-levy. We the CPP say e-levy will not work. You cannot force anybody to use Momo. You need to have pragmatic measures, being prudent. You see, you've taken so much loans, so many loans that anytime you have to change our poor city to go and service. we are doing so much imports. Nothing is being done. We don't export. There's so much pressure on this city. Everything is out of hand, and it's as if nobody cares. We are going into a ditch and nobody cares. Nobody is looking. Nobody is talking. We are just there and the cells running. The country is on autopilot. And we are there. And the managers of the economy are just there. Inflation is this. They'll come and announce and they go and sit down. And we, the citizens, are suffering.
Lawyer, the world oil market prices have reduced by some 2.77%. And so clearly we're seeing that reflect also in the price of LPG, gas oil and all that. So one would have thought that with this, maybe would have been cushioned a bit with regards to fuel prices and also transport fares. But now we're told that transport fares are going up anyway.
But Bella, who is going to cushion you? The one who promised to protect the public purse and who was literally emptied the purse. The same one who told us there was money in the Bank of Ghana. The same people who told you that all the banks were collapsing and that they are taking all of these millions to go and what? Restructure our banking sector. It is also the same president who told you he was putting his life on the line for Galamsey. And yet in the end, what did he do? He is actually now even almost, allegedly, even in collusion and cahoots with all those who are engaged in Galamsey. And of course, who suffers all of this? And I'm sure you remember the chorus, or is it a hymn, by then candidate Baumia, about suffering. Whilst he hobnobs with all the powers that be, flies in all the first-class cabins and drives all those beautiful cars around town, does he think that the suffering of the poor Ghanaian has ended? Does he honestly believe that he has made a difference in the lives of the poor Ghanaian? Have you seen the face of those who sit in the trotro these days when you drive past?
Even when you sit
When you sit in, when you take a cab, as soon as you sit in, all you hear is the frustrations of the cab driver. And I do that very often. I like to pick the Uber every now and then. I sit in cabs all the time because sometimes I'm one of those people that I love to be on the phone. So when I drive myself and I'm not careful, I run into trouble all the time. So basically, every now and then, I just enjoy. It doesn't matter even the state of the vehicle. I do that very, very often. So you hear the very interesting conversations. And I told the cab driver yesterday that I equate him to my gym instructor. You know, they tell you just what is happening around town because they are engaged all the time. They know what goes on. Look, we are at an all-time low. There's a professor who posts very interesting, short, terse messages about Ghana's economy. He says Akufo-Addo has washed Ghana's economy down the drain, literally. And that our inflation is actually measured at what? 80%. And he is also mentioning the cost in terms of rising fuel costs. And once fuel costs go up, it trickles right down. A few days ago, a colleague of mine told me that the reality is that few people in Ghana can go out to the market and buy a whole chicken to cook and eat. And that few families can afford 2 square meals. That is the reality. Whilst we are having these conversations, if you were earning 10,000 a few months ago, say for example last year, what's the value of it now? Bella, I have very young babies. And so for the last 2 years, I've been buying baby formula. When the babies were born, I was buying formula at 16 cedis.
I don't envy you.
Today, I am buying at 35 cedis for a tin. Yes.
Buy.
I buy diapers, so I know where the cost of diapers are now. And my babies are in multiples, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
So think about it. But for the intervention of the Ghana Gas Company, for example, where will we be even on LPG? So at least now, we don't have shortages. The product is there if you can afford it. But how many people can afford it? And each time my guy comes, he says, oh, mommy, you know now to fill the 3 cylinders, we have to pay at least 600 Ghana cedis. So because I had arrived and didn't even have any money, I said to him, I don't have any money. How are we going to be? He said, oh, don't worry. I'll go and fill in halves.
Oh, they fill in halves now?
Oh, you don't know?
They fill in halves?
Yes, because I have huge gas cylinders. So he actually took them there and he decided to put like half in each one of them. So that is the 500 that I used to give him can still pay. But what he tells me is that to fill the big one now, That's the 5 kg, right?
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
5 kg, yes.
You need to have at least nearly 500 Ghana cedis. That is the reality on the ground.
That's a reality.
Well, hold on. We have Ellen on the line. We were expecting her this morning on the show. We're told that she suffered some emergency and so couldn't make it. Ellen, good morning.
Hi, Bella. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning, Auntie Joyce. Good morning, Auntie. Yeah.
Yeah, good morning, dear.
We were expecting you this morning. What happened?
My apologies. My son is not too well. I had to make a hospital run this morning.
So sorry.
So I want to send my apologies to everybody. Next week, definitely I'll be there. But, you know, mommy first.
Yes, definitely.
So my sincere apologies.
Sorry about that. And I hope he's getting better.
Well, we are in the hospital now. So hopefully he'll
We're
be
praying.
fine.
We're praying for you and your family. Yeah.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you. So my apologies once again. I've got a lot of calls. You know, it is very unusual for Ellen not to show up.
Yes, exactly.
So if I'm not there, then it
Absolutely. I
means there's
thought so
something
too.
wrong. So my sincere apologies.
No worries. Thank you so
And
much.
I could hear Auntie Joyce in the background. The way I'm itching to be there, but you let me deal with my son today.
Are you making an attempt to respond to something that she has said?
my brain is with I'm in the hospital now.
Okay.
I can't respond.
No
So
problem.
let me go on with that one.
Okay.
That's fine.
Bye.
Thank you so much. And get well. I mean, to your son, I mean. But yes, that was Ellen
Ellen has
Amadeko.
nothing useful to add. So don't worry.
No. She's not in the right frame of mind now because her son is not well.
She
Yeah.
is a part of this walking contradiction called President Akufo-Addo
Oh.
and his cabinet. Look, Bella, you know,
I thought Ellen was your friend.
I have a soft spot for her, but you know, Ellen, how they say it in Ghana? She's now waiting to swallow, hopefully.
Oh.
I don't know if the
Anyway.
crumbs are falling on her table, though.
Well,
but please, Ellen,
we
are
don't know
all
about
praying
that, but
for
please
you.
carry
Praying
on.
that you get
Yes.
well.
Yeah, praying.
yes.
Get well.
The minute fuel prices go up, it trickles down. The hardship is not just for the ordinary Ghanaian, Bella. It's for all of us. You know, for the
But
first
you're
time, you know
ordinary.
what? Very, very. That's what I'm saying. It's because she opened her statement by saying, and I'm saying it's not.
You are
For
very
everybody
ordinary.
who is outside
outside the enclave,
the enclave or the restricted area that is
Yes.
called Jubilee House,
Jubilee House,
that
we are
only
all
engages
ordinary.
in propaganda and mischievous attempts to
They're
sully
running
people's
the
images.
country.
Oh, if this is how you run the country, then Bella, please, you and I should be in Jubilee House. I can bet you 100% will do a good job.
I'm not sure I'm qualified yet.
Oh, no, you'll be at work on time. You'll be more than qualified. I watch you. You know, I
Oh,
come
yeah?
from a background of enormous discipline. And I take discipline very seriously. You know that this country, even if we decide to improve on our discipline alone,
Yeah.
things will change immediately. Why? What is it we love about all the countries we go to?
discipline.
It is discipline, structure. Everything is organized. Woe betide you if you're late, if you steal. And an Indian man told me an interesting story that I will not stop repeating. He said they export integrity. That is why all the shops you see these days are manned by Asians. Can we not import integrity if we had more consistent leadership? If we had less contradictory leadership? If we had leadership that was based on convictions? Look, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But there's only one thing we have as an exception, or that the exceptional people have, that when you sin, you admit that you have sinned, and you promise to do what? To do better. And a Catholic priest told me a very interesting story a few days ago about sin. That is the truth. But when you sin, and you fail even to admit that you have sinned, you fail to acknowledge that you have sinned, then you do have a challenge. Most of the problems we have is about leadership that is not based on any principle whatsoever. Nothing. No convictions. We don't even believe in anything. In fact, most of the things we promise, we don't even believe in them. At least if I tell you I'll be here at 6 a.m., I will do everything in my power to be here at 6, including driving myself, because that is the only way that I know I can be on time.
Okay.
If I decide to drop my son off at school, I know I'll be late. So, Bella, people are suffering. But whilst Vice President Bawumia hobnobs around the world, luxuriously classed in a club of his own, please remind him that he promised to do what? To arrest the exchange rate. We no longer even
Arrest
have
the
prisons
cedi.
even to contain the cedi. There's nothing happening for the cedi. To be honest, President Akufo-Addo is not in charge of this country. Absolutely not.
He's not in charge.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He might sound or appear to be. But the reality is totally different. He is not. Walk up to him now and ask him if he knows about the fuel prices going up or the fact that transport fares are going up.
You don't think that he knows?
Oh, I'm sure he would make
But
a
he
mistake.
gets briefings every day. He probably has been informed ahead of time.
He will tell you he forgot and that he was misled. And the next day, Kojo Ponkuma will come and play semantics with all of us.
You can't use one.
And remember when Kojo Ponkuma was sitting behind the console like you. I never heard anybody deliver more sermons than he did at the time. And watch his body language, even when he tried to explain what repatriated, fled, and all of these things. Please. If we don't want Aisha Wan in this country, we would have sent her home by now. In any case, what is the use of a trial that is of this kind? 2 charges. Seriously? Look, it is about all the knee-jerk reactions. Because it is fake, it is not sincere, you can see through the rules. It falls through. Eventually, you'll find out. No matter the circumstances. You know, good character is like presidency. It's like pregnancy. Pardon me. How long will it last for? Tops, 9 months. So no matter how much you hide a pregnancy, you know that in the 9th month, everybody will see because you will be forced to bring out the baby. Look, there is no conviction in the nature of the leadership we have at Jubilee House. They don't believe in anything even, except that they're in power and they can lord it over us. The king is totally, absolutely naked and has nothing more to offer. When your finance minister admits that the company that he's chairman of has made 159 million off the backs of Ghanaian taxpayers and is still at post, you've lost it.
Anyway, that's all time will allow for this conversation. I just want to pick your thoughts, lawyer, quickly. I have just about 1 minute to go. But this whole back and forth about whether former President Mahama was paid, some amount of money. He says that he was only paid some 230,000 Ghana cedis and not the 14 million Ghana cedis ex gratia that was put out earlier. I mean, yesterday, the NPP spoke on this matter, and the Director of Communications for the NPP, Mr. Richard Ahiangba, says that the posture of the former president regarding his entitlements threatens the peace and democracy of this country. You're a special aide to the former president. What do you say to this?
Bella, it's like sitting across from you. When I can see the little speck in that eye of yours, but there's a huge log literally blocking my view, and I'm unable to see it, but I can go right across you and pick up that little speck from your eye. Like everything else. Why? We have the report of the Emoluments Committee. Pick it up. And the Office of Chief of Staff, if they can leak all these private and confidential documents, because I don't think that is the work of a Chief of Staff. And I said it yesterday, that I hope that our own former Chiefs of Staff will come out also to indicate what was given to any other living president ahead of time.
Okay.
I am utterly ashamed and embarrassed, but I'm not surprised because Jubilee House is what it is. Not in charge, not in control, and on autopilot. Doing absolutely nothing, just attempting to be in government. It's a very difficult thing to try and carry out a charade of this kind. You see, these are matters of fact that are within the public domain. Whatever payments you make are made through a certain system. We don't live in a jungle. President Mahama says, and he says it simply, that I have not been given housing. I have not been given an office accommodation.
Yeah.
I have not received the help that is due me. And that in terms of my travel, one refund was made directly to my travel agent. And that I have not received any monies in excess of the 230,000 Ghana cedis. That was my pension. And on a monthly basis, I receive a stipend that was approved by the Emoluments Committee and approved by Parliament. It is a matter of what? Public record. Yesterday, they circulated a list of stuff that we don't even know in our office.
You've never seen that list?
Names that we do not have. We know ourselves. Why? I know a Felix. And you know I know Felix, my very good friend. I spend many hours with Felix every day. I know Ernest Nkrumah, who is there with me. I am here. And I mean, I've been around here since. So the other names on the list, who are they?
I see. Well, that's all time will allow for this, unfortunately. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us this morning. In fact, my aunties, I should say. Nanaya Chimpim
No, I think it's a different order.
General.
She's my auntie. So she can easily be, But
I'm not sure if I can say that.
I won't say that.
Young looking.
No, she's my aunt.
Fine
But
woman, she's your aunt.
And then
Okay.
I am also your aunt. So as for her, we'll have to find a different name for you.
Nanaya, what should I say then?
Don't worry, I'll look for one.
Nanaya Chimping-Janso is the General Secretary for the CPP, and lawyer Joyce Balmontari is the Special Aide to former President John Dramani Mahama, also a former Deputy Minister for Transport. We're hoping to have the Elembele DC. In fact, he had confirmed that he was going to be on the show this morning. Unfortunately, we're told that there were some circumstances beyond our control and so on. He's cancelled. So please pardon us if you're looking forward to watching him this morning. He will not be joining us. Good morning to Akosia Menu, of course. She is the Deputy CEO, yes, of the National Youth Authority. She has been, but she's been saying quite a lot. And she says that brush that you bought, Nanaya, it wasn't made in Ghana, so the imported inflation is real.
Well,
it is very, very real.
Tell her that
and
her boss can do something about the things we import. It's been done in other countries.
Says
There's a firm commitment.
Okay.
Something can be
the
done.
blueprint that lawyer Joyce Balmontari was talking about, it wasn't started by the NDC because
Akosia, you
former
either get your
president
facts
thought
right
it
or you
would make
forget
him
it.
lose that election. This was back in 2012. All right. Well, let's see. Do we have more messages, Coco? Okay, let's take some messages as well. So good morning, Bella. As one's lawyer said, this is a small case, but the media has hyped it. But there's a lot that entails. This is not the time to compare Mahama and Akufo-Addo, but to sit down and rectify our mistakes as a country. That's Macarius Ebenezer. All right, thank you so much for your message. It is not clear that the Akufo-Addo government is not really there for this nation. Nothing is working in this nation, and all they are doing is just talk. Problem with free SHS, PDS, the fall of the city, inflation, transport fares, ECG, water, SIM card registration, ex-gratia, galamsey, and the count is on. This country is a joke under Akufo-Addo, and we're all helping him to mess it up. Okanse from Kasua. All right. Must we continue to do NPP and NDC debates? Ghana has suffered enough in 30 years of democracy. NDC failed abysmally, and NPP is doing the same. Weak constitution, weak leaders, weak systems. Both political parties are not the antidote. All right, you didn't add your name. But good morning, Bella. This government has no dream of making this country a better place for we, the ordinary Ghanaians. I've decided not to give birth again if this NPP government is still in power. I will maintain the one I have now because I'm a single mother, and I'm thinking of the single mothers out there. God is not coming to save us because wickedness and selfishness is leading our leaders. Sheila from Teshi. I hope things get better for all of us. Good morning, Bella. I think it's high time leadership sorts the opinion from its subjects on how to solve some problems in this country. Wisdom is not one man's property. Shalom from Cape Coast. And good morning to Gabriela Tete as well. And she also had a question to ask. Let me just read that quickly before we wrap up. So she says that if a whole party bigwig and CEO of Forestry Commission like Sir John was himself mining in the forest reserve and even had the courage to will it forever, you believe there will be a ban in mining and forest reserves, or there was a ban in these reserves? Well, good morning to you, Gabriela, as well. And thank you so much for joining us this morning.